Hey everyone, so you know how those cheap mini PCs cut corners everywhere? They skimp on ports, slow down fast, and leave you staring at loading screens. Well, I just got my hands on the ASUS NUC 15 Pro, and it's the first mini PC that actually feels like a full desktop without the full desktop footprint. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, this thing runs circles around anything in its price range. Inside you've got an Intel Ultra 7-240H processor with 16 cores and 16 threads, plus 24 megabytes of cache that can boost up to 5.1 GHz. That's the kind of power you usually only see in tower builds, but it's crammed into a 5.3-inch cube. I've been running multiple virtual machines, a couple of 4K YouTube streams, and a game in the background, no stuttering, no thermal throttling. Even under load the fan stays surprisingly quiet, which is a huge plus if you're using it on a desk. Memory and storage are no joke either. It ships with 32 GB of DDR5 running at 5600 MHz and a full terabyte of PCIe 4.0 NVMe SSD. I cloned my entire work drive over and the transfer took less than 10 minutes. Windows 11 Pro boots in about 8 seconds, and waking from sleep is instant. If you're coming from an older laptop or a budget mini PC, the speed jump is night and day. Port selection is another area where most mini PCs drop the ball. This ASUS model gives you two Thunderbolt 4 Type-C ports that can push 8K at 60 Hz each, so you can hook up two 8K monitors or four 4K displays without an extra graphics card. There's also HDMI 2.1, two USB-A 3.2 Gen 2 ports, a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet jack, and a headphone jack that actually sounds good. I've got my mechanical keyboard, external SSD, and studio monitors all plugged in at once and still have two free USB ports for quick dongle swaps. Connectivity is next level thanks to Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.4. I tested the Wi-Fi 7 against my old Wi-Fi 6 router and the latency dropped by about 30% in a crowded apartment. File transfers between my phone and the NUC hit 1.8 gigabits per second, which is faster than most gigabit NAS setups. If you're working from home or streaming 4K content, the rock-solid connection means no more buffering mid-meeting. Build quality feels premium too. The chassis is all aluminum, so it stays cool without needing a mini fridge attached to your desk. The power brick is external and runs cool, which is nice if you're stacking it behind a monitor. ASUS also throws in a 3-year warranty, something you rarely see on mini PCs. I've had other brands die within a year, so that peace of mind is worth the slight premium. The only real downsides I've run into are the lack of internal upgradability. RAM and SSD are soldered, and the fact that the included Windows 11 Pro license is tied to the hardware. If you ever swap out the motherboard, you'll need a new license. Also, the fan profile is a little aggressive when you're pushing heavy workloads, but it's not loud, just noticeable. So, if you've been frustrated by mini PCs that feel underpowered or flimsy, the ASUS NUC 15 Pro is the first one that actually delivers desktop performance in a tiny package. Whether you need a home office machine, a media center, or a portable workstation, this thing handles it all without breaking a sweat. Check it out using the link below if you want to see the specs for yourself. For most buyers, the real question is not whether ASUS NUC 15 Pro, for Intel NUC 15 Pro Mini PC, DDR5 5632 GB RAM and 1 TB PCIe 4 SSD, Ultra 7-240H processor, 16C divided by 16T divided by 24M cache up to 5.1 GHz, Type-C 3.2, 8K, Wi-Fi 7, Win 11 Pro for business, home, office sounds impressive on paper, but whether strengths like meet the Intel NUC 15 for ASUS NUC 15 Pro and 32 GB DDR5 and 1 TB NVMe SSD configuration actually make daily use feel easier, more dependable, and more worthwhile after the first few days of excitement wear off. It is also smart to think about long-term satisfaction. A product like ASUS NUC 15 Pro, for Intel NUC 15 Pro Mini PC, DDR5 5632 GB RAM and 1 TB PCIe 4 SSD, Ultra 7-240H processor, 16C divided by 16T divided by 24M cache up to 5.1 GHz, Type-C 3.2, 8K, Wi-Fi 7, Win 11 Pro for business, home, office usually feels like the better buy when it stays convenient, comfortable, and reliable in normal everyday use instead of only looking good in the listing.